bring Masco. Have you ever played any Charlie Brown music?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, that's not how that goes.
That's off. Even I can tell. There we go. I think it's still off.
It's just,
Still off.
oh yeah, I haven't played it in a year or 2 or 7 or 12.
But yeah, my mom and I might watch Charlie Brown's Christmas, and I'm like, I've never seen that. And I go by thinking of the music, like the main theme. We did watch the Muppets Christmas Carol last night, and the first song was the best one, but the others were I was disappointed. Like, they were fine. They were just like the one that introduces Scrooge is the better one, because it's the one that actually connects to the story. All of it. Well, actually, no. There's 3 that connect the story, but that one's the best one. There are like 2 or 3 others that are just kind of there and it's like a Christmas feeling, and they don't really do anything.
Hi, Shad.
Hey. But still a very good Christmas Carol adaptation, though. A really old guy named Michael Caine plays Scrooge, and he's a very good actor. He's still acting, too, and he's 89 years old. He's been acting since 1950.
Music theory time.
Yeah.
You're finally being able to watch. Good grammar.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't really mastered is like how to play each scale. My fingering is like different every time, so I gotta work on that. But I at least know the notes.
It's okay. You're not auditioning anytime soon.
Yeah, so I'll work on that later. But man, do I love relative scales! I love them so much. Because like once I know a minor scale or a major scale, I can go down or up and then know the other one on the other key. Oh, what's that from?
That's from the original Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know I haven't ever played that game, but I like that piece. Oh, I heard that piece. That piece makes me happy.
Which scale? I don't know. Probably some. I did so many things in a row, Shad. I don't know. If you're talking about that scale, that's just a harmonic minor scale. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. E major.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
E minor relative to G major.
Oh my God, you're right.
I love major relative scales. That was so helpful.
The thing about teaching is you never actually know which piece of random information is going to be the thing that matters.
Yeah, but it's like it's so cool that when you're the student and you're like, oh.
I've gone through so many lectures in college where completely unrelated to the point of the lecture, they just happen to say a sentence that makes me go, oh,
yeah,
something completely random makes sense now.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. It's so great. That's what I love about teaching and learning. I love to look on my student, like on whoever I'm teaching's face, and then I love that feeling of like, oh, eureka! It's brilliant.
It's just a small town doing, living in a lonely shed. Well, the real thing, Derwin, is I should just do streams where I play, but I don't. I mean, I do like once every 6 months. And no one actually shows up to those, though.
I would show up.
No, you wouldn't, because I'd probably do it at a time when you're like asleep or busy. I can't predict people's schedules.
I mean, hey, as long as it's not when I'm at jiu-jitsu, I'll listen. And hey, like even if I'm asleep, I'll click on the stream so it'll start anyway, and then my sleep brain will just be like, "Yay, jazz!"
All right. Sleeping at this time? That's a weird time to be asleep. I don't actually know where you live, but I'm trying to think of any time zone right now where people would be asleep, and it's like Japan.
Yeah, like Asia.
Australia. That's
unless someone has like the night shift and they sleep during the day. My sister's pretty because she works like 12-hour shifts, like 4 days in a row, and then has like 3 days off. Yay, nursing!
Play me a D minor triad.
Okay, D minor. So let's see. That would be C. That's the scale. D minor. Thingies. Do your thing. There we go.
Yeah, okay. 1:11 p.m.
Now, quick question. So, like, you know, this is a minor triad because it's in the minor scale. So this would be the major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the third of the chord is the only note that's different between the two scales.
Mm-hmm. My fingers are understanding. I will also admit, you know, I put a lot more effort into actually studying. So, yeah.
I like honest viewers. Thank you for viewing me honestly. You're not a triad, Chad. Got it.
Yeah.
Today I'm feeling it out. I'd really like to do seventh chords, but I'm still feeling it out. That's like,
yeah, we'll
that's
see.
like
We'll
the
see
next,
where we
that's
get.
the next big boy, big knowledge boy.
Yeah, knowledge boy. Off brain.
So, welcome to Music Theory. We had like a theme for this last time where it was like Ryan's Music Basement, but I don't remember it because I don't rewatch the stream, so I don't know what it was like. It was probably like Ryan's Music Basement. Ooh. Probably not that bad.
I mean, hey, we can do like a couple weeks of random and then have the viewer vote.
So let's do a very quick review. Wow. Okay. Hi. Welcome to music. It's music. It's sound. Music. This is a piano. Look at the piano. Piano has white keys and black keys. Wow. They all are chromatic. Chromatic means moving by half steps. Half steps is the smallest amount of movement you can do in Western music.
Baby steps.
Right. We have notes. Notes are one tone. That's what a note is. Those are C's. Here's a D. Here's an E. Anyway, we have
Here's an F.
When you play two notes at once, that's a harmony. You could technically call that a chord. Measuring the relationship between these two notes is called an interval. We have lots of types of intervals, like the minor second, major second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, tritone, perfect fifth, minor sixth, major sixth, minor seven, major seven, and octave.
The tritone is evil. As are organs. Because of religion. I wonder how many things you could just say because of religion and you would be correct.
Anyway, Da, 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 da. Bill Wirtz video live. So here I am on Bill Wirtz, and nothing I says make any sense or has any tangent to the last sentence I said, and now I'm going to animate it and put it on YouTube and get 45 million views. Hi, I'm Bill Wirtz. I did that. I guess Bill Wirtz did do some things that kind of made sense before he flew off the rails. So I guess it was sort of like the world history sort of thing. Like, hey, we have notes. Notes make sound. Sound make. And then you just got to throw in some like microtonal jazz harmonies in there to make it Bill Wirtz. Like, this is a chord, yeah. Like, that's Bill Wirtz. I did it. Okay. That's a human person.
Major sixth. Or not, right, not the major sixth.
That is a major sixth. What are you talking?
I know. Yeah, right.
NBC. What does the N stand for? New York? New York Broadcast
National?
Corporation, National Broadcast Corporation. I don't know. We have the ABC, the NBC, BBC, the other ABC, depending on if you're American or Australian.
Or British.
British. BBC. Anyway, we got intervals. If you play 3 notes, you get a chord. It's a triad version of a chord. It sounds like that. There's 4 kinds. There's major chords, there's minor chords, there's diminished chords, there's augmented chords, and that's all the chords. Not really, but
Those are the important ones.
those are the important triads. Not really. I mean, only the first 2 are really important. It's major, minor. That's what we go. Oh,
It's like they're the Mario and Luigi to the Wario and Waluigi.
oh my god,
They're there, but they're not important.
kind of good. Which one is which? Though? Like, is Mario the major chord or the minor chord?
I mean, considering like he's the happier one, I would say the minor.
Is
or
it
major.
the happier one? Have you ever seen him treat Luigi fairly?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's why Luigi would be the minor chord because he's always like sad.
I guess, yeah. So Wario would be like the diminished chord. I don't know. That's like the evilest sounding.
I mean, like whichever one sounds fatter, I would say.
See yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. This is gonna go off real fast. I was like, well, the augmented chord is the most spread out. So would that mean like fat, like Wario, or tall, like Waluigi?
We'll figure that out later. Homework. What do you think, Chad?
Which chord makes you feel like an upside down L?
Yeah.
Where the sus chord's at? Meow. That was my imitation of a Among Us sound effect. Haha. That's a suspension.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Oh, foot.
I mean, you're talking about the sustain pedal. I'm talking about the act of a suspension, which is when you play a triad like this, and then you resolve it to a proper triad.
Ah, yes.
So that would be a 1-4-5 to a regular 1-3-5.
Happy fingers.
Yeah, I mean, like you can write that out as a sus chord on a sheet music, but then you go into a music theory class and the professor's like, "There's no such thing as a suspended chord. There is only the act of suspension." And it's like, okay, sure, I guess, but I'm still gonna call it a sus chord. Scales. We got scales, major and minor.
Lots of those.
They work in any key. Circle of fifths. That's not how it sounds. That's how it sounds. Circle of fifths. You add a sharp. Start on C. C's got no sharps in the key signature. G has 1 sharp. D has 2. A has 3. E has 4. B has 5. And then we don't talk about the other side of the circle because we're scared of it. Same with the circle of fourths. You start on A, which has no flats. You go to E, that's not a fourth. You go to D, which has 1 flat. The first flat is B flat. and then you go to fuck, and then you go fuck, and then you
You got a
and then you
burp.
go to G, and that adds the E flat. This is a really fast and jarring and scattered review, but I'm condensing 5 weeks of streams into one sentence, basically.
Very, very, very run-on sentence. Lots of semicolons.
What do I think of what? Wait, what was the question? Oh, sus 2 and sus 4? I don't know. I'm more of a sus 4 kind of guy, but the musical context is important.
As it is in literature.
We also talked a little bit about different musical forms. The 1 chord to the 4 chord to the 5 chord, how, in the scale, chords are assigned to numbers, which makes it easier to know, because then you could be playing in any key, and when someone says, all right, go to the 5 chord, you don't have to name the actual note. That's already established. Makes writing music and reading music and speaking of music a lot easier when you use numbers instead of letters.
Yeah.
And I have not. I've talked about modes, but I haven't taught modes because there's not really a reason to right now. But I've definitely talked about the modes. I've talked about Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, and Lydian, and Mixolydian, and Aeolian, and Locrian. Go find me a piece of music in Locrian mode, how dare you. And some prog metal bands I only write in Locrian mode and I only play an 11/8 time signature. We talked about musical cadences, how we return to the 1 chord in all different ways. So the perfect cadence is a 5/1 cadence. Very nice consonant leap. And then the imperfect cadence is when we go from the 1 chord to the 5 chord. Usually used to transition to somewhere because it kind of just leaves you hanging.
I forget, what's the 1 chord?
Well, it depends what key. I'm playing in C, so the 1 chord would be C.
Oh, okay.
And then the 5 chord is D, obviously.
Okay, yeah. The circle.
We did. It doesn't really have anything to do with the circle, but that's fine. And then, okay. Now that you've said that, I gotta make sure we're on the same page here. Play. What's the 4 chord in the key of C?
B.
Okay, no, we're on the same page. Good. Okay.
Well, yeah, I understood. I thought that
has nothing to do with the circle fifths. We're talking about C major.
Okay.
We did the plagal cadence, which is 4/1, which sort of contains that 4/1 suspension I was just talking about. It's very churchy.
Yeah, very churchy.
And then there's a deceptive cadence where you just kind of go off wherever. You're like, off to some unrelated scale degree. Oh yeah, we did talk about chord inversions.
Yes.
So if you take a root position C chord, you can move it to first inversion by putting the C at the top of the chord instead, which gives us that sound.
E, G.
Yep.
There we go.
And then the third inversion would be putting the E at the
G
top.
at the top.
Yeah, the G on the top is just the root position.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that's inversions, and if you get really good at inversions, they give different feelings to different chord progressions because you're moving certain notes less distance or more distance, and it can make it easier to play. It can give you a different feel. If you're going from 1 to 5 like that, it's a little different than going you're moving less notes. No.
Well, aren't inversions where you get like C major 7th and things like that?
No, that's not a 7 chord. We're gonna get to that if I feel like we're ready. I hope we're ready today. I think we might be ready today to start talking about that.
Yay. Been working very hard on my chords and my triads.
I think we're comfortable enough with major and minor chords. from which seventh chords can be derived from. There are a couple seventh chords derived from diminished chords, and augmented chords can't do jack shit. They are exactly what they are. There is well, that's not. I don't know. It's some sort of, that's sort of true. Everything has an exception because it's music, and you can do whatever you want.
Everything has exceptions because life.
I'm just trying to simplify, mate.
Yeah. Life has exceptions.
So there are two seventh intervals, obviously. Minor seventh and major seventh. You know those.
Yes.
So combining the seventh scale degree in both major and minor keys, because the seventh scale degree is different in the major and minor key. Obviously, it's in C major the seventh is a B natural. In C minor, the seventh is a B flat.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple different combinations we can use here to make a seventh chord. So let's start with a C major triad.
Okay.
And you're gonna want to play this with your thumb, your pointer, and your ring finger. You need your pinky free.
Ring finger. Okay.
Are you playing with this? Are you playing left or right hand?
Left. Should I play with right?
I was talking about my right hand. Let's do right hand. Thumb, pointer, and ring on your right hand.
Thumb, pointer,
We got a new follower here.
Thumb, pointer, ring.
Maybe come down an octave if it's comfortable.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Hold on. I just completely ruined the voiceover.
Oh. But need a new follower. Are they watching the stream?
Anyway, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I would read your name out loud, but suddenly I can't navigate by words. So
Grump.
That's not great.
Rotor. Not being stupid.
Oh, wait. Felipe's? Anyway. Posture change.
Hi,
That's
Felipe.
a good idea. I'm bent over the piano.
Yeah. Gotta work on that. Because my problem is my chair is too big to go into the desk because this was Alex's when he was like 10. So, and I love it, but it's also like very small.
Anyway, C major triad. We got our pinky free now. So let's play that B major.
Pinky up makes you look fancy.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. Let's play the B natural on top of the chord. So we're gonna make a 4-note chord now. C, E, G. There you go. That's the major seventh chord. It's a major chord, and it has a major 7 on top of it.
Ah, gotcha.
It's very nice.
It's like whipped cream.
It's like whipped cream. Quote that. I don't really know the context, but it's like
I don't know. It's like the major chord is the pie, and then you put whipped cream on it.
Yeah, there was a funny clip from Thursday that I was gonna text you to like maybe get a recording of, and I already forgot what it was. Damn.
Oh, I didn't do that afterwards.
I don't remember what it was, but if I do, I'll let you know.
I grabbed the dryer clip.
That's what it was. That's what it was. The dryer clip.
Okay, good. Yeah, I already grabbed that. I love when.
I think that's what it was.
I love when Alex and XE don't compute, and then it leads to hilarity.
I'm pretty sure that's
because that was fucking funny.
AC is capital. Okay, so it's Philippe AC. I can read. Not really. Anyway, that's our major 7 chord.
I can.
It will be.
Hello, major 7.
It will be written on a jazz chart as a capital M with a 7. Now, hold on.
Like minor 7?
Anyway, yeah, it'll be written on a jazz chart with a capital M for major and then the number 7. Jazz charts don't really they don't look like normal musical staffs. Not usually. They're usually just letter, and then it'll denote like if it's a major chord, a minor chord, a 7 chord, add 9, whatever. Just to make it, because like if you're playing jazz, you don't need to look at a goddamn musical staff.
Yeah, I'm like jazz is all about the improv.
It's about improv. It's about knowing chords. So it's just important to write.
Feeling the music, getting in the zone.
We do have a YouTube channel. We are The streams are all archived over on the YouTube channel. They're also archived over on here for a few weeks. I don't know that I have a link to the YouTube channel. It might be in our bio. I should probably set up a Nightbot command. It's very rare that somebody asks for our YouTube, but I should
thank
probably
you.
set up a Nightbot command so I can drop that in chat if needed. Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah.
Our YouTube channel is called GNG Plays.
Yeah, it's very hard to find.
It's very hard to find
search.
because we have so few subscribers that YouTube doesn't let us have our own searchability.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Oh, you found the YouTube? It's okay. Hopefully you
Hooray.
found the one we're actually streaming to and not the one that just is auto-created with our music on it by our distributor. Because people are very good at finding that one because it's actually findable. What was it? Okay, so yeah, major 7 chord. So without going to minor, let's keep our major triad and let's lower that 7th by a half step.
Okay, so boop, boop, boop.
No. Keep the triad on the bottom, the normal C, E, G.
Okay.
I just want you to lower the 7th by a half step.
Ah, okay. Oh, wait.
There you go.
Finger. Hit it. One of my fingers moved. Let's see. Wait.
Should just be your pinky that moved down a half step.
Yeah, it's just awkward. I think.
You lost it.
Okay, I can't.
You had it the first time.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to press all the. Oh wait, I think.
Thumb, pointer, ring, pinky.
And the
You
pinky.
can actually use your middle finger on the G if you want. That makes it a
There
little
we
easier
go.
for me. Play it again? No,
There we
that's
go.
not right.
I went down a half step.
Yeah, but you're playing an F instead of an E.
No, I'm not.
Wait. Now you're playing the major 7 again. That's fine.
Yeah,
I just need you to move the 7 down by a half step. I want you to keep everything else alone. Just
Oh no,
move it
I'm
down a
not.
half
I'm
step.
not. Trust me, I'm not moving anything. Fingies. Oh, wait.
See, now you're
Find
playing an
my.
F.
Yeah, see, my fingers keep moving for some reason. Let's see. 1, 2. Let's see. Thing. Oh yeah, ring. Let's see. There.
You can use your middle finger on the G.
Oh,
Gives you a
let's
little
try
more
that.
reach.
Yeah, let's try that instead. So, middle finger. See, there. G. Now. There we go.
There you go. It shouldn't hurt or be hard to play.
Yeah, it just, I gotta get used to it.
Look, I don't know how your hands position on the keyboard, but I know you have a decent stretch, so it really should be just
Yeah,
as
well,
comfortable to play both of these chords.
It's mainly like for whatever reason, my fingers like to stretch into the black keys,
Yeah, well, you
like
don't-
in between them.
You don't need to do that. That's just gonna...
But that's what's weird is like then my other fingers have to like extend backwards, and that pushes my other finger off the key, and it's almost like
Finger backwards. I'm not sure. I mean,
like my fingers are so long that because everything but my pinky is like fairly tall in comparison. So when I try and stretch my pinky, the others have to extend to stay comfortable unless I wanted to bend them back. I guess forward.
I don't understand.
Yeah, my hands are weird. I'll show you. Like now that I've got access, I'll be visiting you next month, hopefully.
I'm trying to see like how I would normally play this chord, where my fingers line up. My thumb is pretty close to the edge of the key, like the front of the piano.
Yeah.
My index finger it's tucked up to the right of that E flat, so it's fairly in there. And same with I'm using my middle finger to play the G, and it's kind of wedged between the two black keys there. And then with my pinky, I'm playing the B flat. It feels fine.
Okay. I found a way that's comfortable. There we go. I'm what you said, like just in the middle of the keys instead of deep in there.
Yeah.
There we go. Haha. Victory.
Anyway, where was I? Thank you, Shad. Sorry, I got a little behind on chat there.
But yeah, so we went down a half step.
So great. So we have a major triad and we have a minor 7 on top. There's a couple names for this. The most academically, classically trained, stupid name is the major minor 7 chord. We're not using that. That's stupid. Go away.
Yeah, that sounds stupid.
2 other names. One is the dominant 7th. That's sort of the most used. Or if you're very involved in jazz and know what you're talking about, it's just called the 7th chord because it's used the most. And on a jazz chart, there's no letter that precedes it. You would just write C and then the number 7, and everyone would know this is the chord you mean. Mm-hmm. Same if any other key. If you wrote an F and then just the number 7, it would just, you know that it's the major triad with the minor 7 on top. That is the jazz sound. That's a 7 chord. Mm-hmm. So that's, you call it whatever you want. Just call it a dominant 7.
Dominant 7 in jazz. Happy keys.
So yeah, we got the major 7. We got the minor 7. The dominant 7. Now from the dominant 7, if we move our 3rd down a half step, so we're in a minor key now.
The 3rd down.
Yeah, just the E down to an E flat. So we're playing a C minor chord with a minor 7 on top.
That's what I thought, but it was true.
No.
Oh, whoops.
No.
Oh, wait. No, wait. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, my brain doomed. There we go.
There it is. That's the minor 7th chord. Might be my favorite. Yeah, it's probably my favorite. It's a really dark sound. I like it.
Yeah, it's neat. That adds like a feeling of like a slight sadness to it.
So yeah, that's a minor 7. It would be denoted on a jazz chart with a lowercase m and then the 7. So yeah, it's the minor triad with the minor 7. It's fully diatonically in the minor key. There's nothing breaking the key.
So like on a music, a jazz music thing, how do you distinct the like lowering the top note to lowering the 3rd note?
Well, the 3rd note is what's dictating if you're in a minor or major key, right? So that's where the capital or lowercase m comes from. Mm-hmm. Capital M always means major. Lowercase m always means minor.
Yeah. So then what was it? What was it called when we moved the E or the B down to a B flat?
That's the dominant 7, and in jazz, it's literally just called the 7th chord without any sort of major or minor connotation. So there's no M or any notation for key because it's just so widely used. So
then what's this one?
That's the major 7. So it would be notated as a capital M and then a 7 because you're fully in the major key. You got the first note of the major scale.
Okay, so major 7 and dominant 7.
Yes, exactly. You got the first note of the major 7 or the major scale, 3rd note, 5th note, that makes your triad, and then you're adding the 7. And you're fully in the major key. Then you got the dominant 7 where the 7 on top is lowered by a half step.
Lowered a half step.
And then the minor 7 where you're playing a full minor triad with a minor 7 on top. Those are the most important 7 chords. There are 1, 2, 3. There's like 3 others. They're much, much, much less important. So if you want me to tell you about them, I can.
Yeah, why not? Come on, fingers, play that all at the same time. 1, 2. There we go. Good fingers.
All right, so the other 3 7 chords that you don't have to know so well right now. It's really just, these are weird use cases. So if you play a minor triad, but you play the major 7 on top, so that's C, and then the E flat and G, and then the B natural on top. You're always playing F. Get that F out of here.
Yeah, bad finger. Stay up. There we go.
There it is. That is the minor major 7. It's a minor triad with a major 7. It's just called the minor major 7. You could learn it as the Perry the Platypus chord.
Oh, good to know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna call it the Perry chord. Perry chord.
It's you could end a song with it. You know, like we were playing in our Latin jazz band. We played a song that's just like a regular, just like a regular Latin beat. But we'd end the song with like that chord, that minor major 7. Sounds like that.
Neat. So it sounds like when you're transition to a play and play into something like creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy or dramatic.
Yeah, I like it.
The other 2 types of 7 chords are built off the diminished chord.
Okay.
So in C, that's C, E flat, and G flat. That's our diminished triad.
C. So is it E flat and D flat?
E flat and G flat.
G flat. Okay, I misheard.
It's the tiny little diminished chord.
Oh, no, yeah, that's right.
No, don't. Just play the triad.
Okay.
Just play the triad. I want to make sure we got that.
There.
Okay. There's 2 types of 7 chords built off the diminished chord. There is the half diminished 7th chord, which has the B flat on top, B flat on top.
B. Oh.
There you go. That is a half diminished 7. And then there's the fully diminished 7th, which has an A on top, which isn't even a 7.
Ooh, that is very dramatic.
It's not even a 7, so I don't really know.
That's weird.
Maybe Shad knows why it's called that. It's 6. What's interesting is...
but that's very dramatic sounding.
No, the fully diminished 7th is useful in jazz because no matter how... Let's see, how do I explain this? Fuck, I had this teed up in my mind and I just completely lost my train.
I mean, hey, word vomit at me.
Okay, got it. So, a C fully diminished 7 is the same as an E flat fully diminished 7, which is the same as a G flat fully diminished 7, which is the same as an A fully diminished 7. The notes are so close together that you can use the same 4 notes in 4 different keys. Each key can be built off of one of those notes. And that also means that if you're trying to change to a different key, or if you're trying to like use this as a cadence, you can go to any of these 4 places. So like you could go using these saved notes, I'm gonna like to D, you could go like I don't know, there's so many different ways you can.
Yeah, it's like a transition, like a bridge to
just,
all the other chords.
There's so many different ways you can come out of it.
Neat.
Yeah, it's weird. We just started doing this thing with my jazz teacher where you build major triads off of the fully diminished chord. So if you did like a G fully diminished and you build a major triad off of each of the notes in that, and then you use a different fully diminished chord in your left hand, and then you get it's this like really modern substitute jazz sound. I don't know. It's too much for my brain.
No, what is it called when you have the C major with the A at the top?
You wouldn't have an A at the top of a C major. That's not a 7 chord. You'd have either a B or a B flat.
Well, it's the one that you were confused about. That you're like, it's not a 7th, it's a 6th.
Oh, that's the fully diminished chord.
Okay.
It has a 6 at the top. Let me check my chat because I might be about to be proven wrong. Also known as the Hitchcock chord. Great, you're teaching me things already.
That's a fun one.
Apparently.
I wonder where that comes from.
Because it's built from, it's just minor thirds stacked. Just all minor third intervals.
That sounds like a really messy sandwich.
Okay.
Just like there's no bread. We need bread, man.
Maybe it's all bread.
Maybe that's
You never had a bread sandwich. It's one of the stupidest jokes in like I'm gonna call it Modern Family Guy, but it's probably from like 2014. Hey guys, Chris has never had a bread sandwich. You ain't never had a bread sandwich. I like to go white bread on top, white bread on bottom, and a nice piece of wheat in between. I like to go rye, rye, rye. Oh, Hitchcock.
See, it's weird. Like I don't like Family Guy, but I like when you and Alex tell me about it. You guys make it funny.
Yeah, because I'm picking out the funny parts.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't never had a bread sandwich.
So this is a diminished seventh?
What are you playing? Yeah, it's the fully diminished seventh.
Fully diminished.
The half diminished is with the actual seven, the B flat on top. B flat.
Oh yeah, but okay. So diminished, fully diminished. Which
yeah, you're not. Those aren't very important. Minor seven. Minor seventh, major seventh, and dominant seventh. Those are the good.
So,
you want to know?
Minor seventh, major seventh.
No,
brain. Sorry.
One at a time. That's your major.
Minors,
seven.
Major seven.
Yeah.
Dominant seven.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one called?
Minor seven.
Minor seven. That would be.
Yeah.
So major seven, dominant seven, and minor.
Yeah, those are important. They're very important. The reason that I wanted to talk about these chords at all, and I went off on a tangent in the last stream and then realized we weren't ready, is because we were talking about Silent Night.
Yeah.
And,
Stille Nacht.
So, the perfect cadence, the 5-to-1 cadence, is usually a dominant seventh chord to 1. That's like much better. So instead of just going, it's usually, you got that minor seventh feel. It's
a little layer.
And towards the end of Silent Night, where you have specifically it's outlining the top. It's G, F, D, G being the 1, F being this seventh of the G chord, and D being the 5. So that's why there's an F there, because it's creating this dominant 7-5 chord, or a 5-7, which is a much better sounding cadence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense.
And also, with 7 chords, that adds another inversion opportunity. So, with just a triad, you have root position, first inversion, and second inversion. Now with the 7th chord, you have root position, first inversion, second inversion, and third inversion. I like the third inverted. I like the third inversion of any 7th chord. That's something I use quite often, and it's very easy to play because the notes, the 7 and the 1, are right next to each other.
You know what I found really awesome? So I was telling my mom about learning Silent Night from you, and apparently she had a keyboard when she was little which had like numbers on the keys, and she still remembers the numbers. Like she recited it to me in the tune of Silent Night, and it was just very amusing. I was like, yeah, and it was very sad because she did it for some sort of like community talent show, but they put it on like a table with cloth on it, so you couldn't hear the piano because it was a dinky like kid piano keyboard thing from the 1960s.
See there, even that part. That's very much. This is a 5-7 chord. Yeah.
Neato. Now I understand what a seventh chord is.
Yeah. It's definitely something you need to practice is comfortably playing all the chords in a way where you're not like, oh fuck, where does my finger go? Like that can't be part of the equation.
Yeah, I definitely gotta work on that. I gotta work on that with the scales too. Like, I can play those comfortably, but like I know they're wrong because like I have to move my hand over for like the last note or something.
It's not
I
the
just
end
gotta...
of the world, really.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not gonna
but,
care
but,
if you're playing your scales right. Any other teacher might, but I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, but I care.
As long as you can play the
it'll sound
scale
better.
at a constant speed.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is
Yeah.
like I noticed that the last note, like I'll go from instead of just because my finger isn't proper, and I know I just gotta figure out what finger goes where, especially during transitions. But I just gotta practice. I'm better at some, than others.
So we talked about parallel and relative minors and majors, obviously. We talked about improv. So if I was playing...
I forget, what's a parallel?
The parallel minor is literally just you got C major, and then the parallel minor of that would be literally C minor. It's just the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the same key, just the minor version.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a term that they want you
relatives are my best friend.
So if I was playing a song in A minor or A major, and I wanted to do some improv, what key would I be improving in to make it sound nice?
Do you mean which? I'm assuming you mean which key is like most similar to it?
Yeah, I'm saying this is what I mentioned this last stream. I'm more just seeing if you remember what I said. If you're playing in a major key and you want to do improv, what key would you play that improv in? So I'm playing in an A major. What key would be best for me to play some improv solos in? Don't overthink it. Just use the skills you know. Based on relatives and parallels.
Yeah, my brain says C major.
What do you think?
Not really.
Let's try that again. Let's try doing that the other way around. You went from a major to a relative major, but there's nothing relative between those. I'm in A major, not A minor. If I was in A minor, you'd be right, or close to right. But I'm in a major key. You've been using this stuff all week, so I know you know this.
Yeah. I would say. I would say E major because they like at least in the scale there's only two notes that are different between them because the A major has the D natural and the E major has the C has the D sharp in it.
Okay, let's try that. It's better than the C, but I don't think it's what I would use. What's the relative?
I'm not sure if I'm going to name it right.
You don't have to name it right. There's no right way to name it. Just, I mean, there's no wrong way to name it if it's a black key.
Okay, so I would say the F sharp major.
Okay, let's try that.
I like.
There we are. Yes, when you're in a major key, you're soloing in the relative minor. And I know you know how to find relative minors. You just did it.
I love that word.
If I was playing in a minor key, I'd solo directly in that minor key. So if I was playing in A minor, I'd solo directly in A minor.
Okay, so you only really solo in a different key when you're in a major key?
Yeah, on a basic
Okay.
level. I would use the relative minor to give the most rich sound, I think.
Okay.
What's your question, Shad?
Oh, by the way, I forget if I tell you. Did I ever tell you I had a piano, like in my old house?
I don't know
What
if
a
you told
piano for a
me.
couple
I'm not
years.
really surprised you had a piano. A lot of people do. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a piano from like that's my dad's mom's piano or some shit. It's just been in our house before I was born. It's just
Neat.
it's not like they bought a piano because I started learning piano.
Yeah. So that's when my mom bought it, but like it was in the living room and everyone would watch TV there. So like I felt I couldn't play it.
I think the reason I use the relative minor, is because it's a good way to get a handle on relative minors. I mean, you're right. Like I am using an A major pentatonic scale, but I always view it as as the blues scale of the relative minor, because I would be using a C natural. I might use the F as a passing tone. These aren't really A major notes. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to talk about soloing in a major key, but I've always been told that using the and even when I've looked up like how do other people solo in major keys, a lot of people say like I define it as the relative minor.
Yeah, actually, I've been wondering about that too, because I'm like, you're not. I can tell you're not just using notes in the A major.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that
It just means you're primarily using notes in the key, right?
yeah. And what was I? Yeah, and then I also do it because it's easier to relate a minor pentatonic scale to a blues scale because there's only one extra note. So that's why I do it.
What's a blues scale?
I've showed you it a couple times. I'll show you it again. So, you know what? Fine. We'll go over the pentatonic scales on the blues scale once more.
Hey.
And we'll do them in C because, duh, we're piano players and we're basic bitches.
Yep.
So a major pentatonic scale is built from the regular major scale, but it's pentatonic. There's only 5 notes in it. And the notes are the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
That's it.
Neat.
And
Okay, yeah, I do.
The minor pentatonic scale is 1,
1,
3.
3.
It's 1, 3. No, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing 1, 3.
No, we're in minor. We're in
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 5, 7.
4, 5,
7.
6.
Yeah, there you go. Which you can use relative minor learning to learn that also, because if you took an E flat major pentatonic and then you did the relative minor where you go down 3 half steps, it's the same notes for C. So that's an easier way to learn those. And the whole reason that I use the relative minor pentatonic when I'm talking about soloing in a major scale is because the minor pentatonic scale is one note off from the blues scale. The blues scale adds one note to it. So the blues scale is 1, 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, and 7.
Okay. So 1, 3, 4, sharp.
No. Just a half step.
No, that's what I thought I did.
You did.
1, 3, 4. Because
Just a half
okay.
step.
No, my bad. It's going 4.
And then the 7.
This.
The 7.
Right there. Oh.
The 7. The 7.
Oh, wait a minute.
We're in a minor.
Yeah, my brain. Major. There you go. But yeah, my bad. Like for whatever reason, I thought we were replacing the fifth from the previous one with the major of that scale. But yeah, but now it makes sense.
Most famously, the F sharp major pentatonic scale is just all the black keys.
Oh, that's what that is.
That's why it sounds so good. And the relative minor of F sharp.
Finger, stay there. There.
The relative minor of F sharp or G flat is E flat or D sharp. So the minor pentatonic scale of that is all black keys. So if I'm playing an E sharp minor or E flat minor, god damn it, you just solo by playing all the fucking black keys. There's no wrong choice.
And this is if you're playing what key again?
I'm playing an E flat minor, so I can play all. And the same if I'm playing in G flat major, I can all just all the black keys. If you add an A natural, you get the E flat blues scale.
Just
It's less complicated than you think to improvise.
yeah. I wonder how much jazz music isn't throughout history was not written down just because of jazz being so improvisational. Probably a lot. Okay, so let's make sure. So the pentatonic scale is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Yeah, the major.
And then a major pentatonic, and the minor pentatonic is 1, 3,
4, 5, 7.
7. Yeah, 7. Yeah.
You could play. You could play this.
And what was the
blues scale? The blues scale just adds the
minor,
the sharp 4.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, and if you play the C major pentatonic scale, and then you start it on A, you're getting the A minor pentatonic. It's the same theory.
Well, I presume that that they're relatives, just like C major and C minor.
Yeah, because it's the same scale, just minus a few notes.
Yeah. And does that work with all the other scales? I think. Yeah, so like B minor is relative to D major, things like that.
Yeah.
Neat. That's helpful. More jazz. Jazz is fun. music.
What in the world?
Yeah, fingers keep moving. There we go.
Cool.
Stupid thumb. Stop moving. I think that's a lot for today. A lot to look
Yeah.
over and stuff.
I want you to come to my house and then we can work on improv and rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to figure out how to get my keyboard to change time signature.
Literally might not have that function. That keyboard is cheap.
Yeah. Would be nice though. But I still like it. I'm also very excited. Oh, actually, I was thinking I could come over the weekend of the episode 2, season 3 premiere. We could actually watch it on Disney with their loud ass commercials. That would be all the fun.
Okay.
I think we're good for today, though.
We tried to discuss rhythm. Didn't go so well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's hard to do over stream. Plus, I don't I can tap to a rhythm, but I don't have the best sense of notes. Dissonance. Yeah, exactly. Error.
It's not dissonant anymore. I hit it in the major 7th chord.
I know what that is now.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what I think of your dissonance.
So, but before we go, I just want to make sure. So I have major 7th, it's over the P, I think.
P?
This one?
Pominate 7? I'd call it a dominant 7th.
Dominant.
Or just a 7th.
So major 7th, dominant 7th / just 7th chord. The minor 7th, I think. No, it's.
Try with a minor 7 on top instead of a major 7 on top. There you go. That's your minor 7th.
Minor 7th, and then.
I don't care if you know the other ones.
Yeah, but I want to know. I like to learn things.
Instead of trying to focus on those other ones, try focusing on these main 3 in different keys.
Okay.
Give me a major 7 in F. Give me a major 7 in G. Give me a minor 7 in D.
Will do. I'll work on that this week. I've gotten real good at my scales, as my fingers like them now. Come on, fingers. But I like Saturdays. Saturdays are fun. It was really cool to discover that the A major and the E major were almost the same. That was really neat. you know that?
What?
Did you know that the E major and the A major were just separated by
They're
different
literally
by-
one space apart on the circle of fifths. Of course they're off by one note.
Eh. Well, no,
Yes, that follows the exact theory I taught you.
well, no, B is the next one in the circle of fifths,
No,
not A.
No, you go from A to E. Those are a fifth apart. So the A major scale doesn't have the D sharp, and the E major scale does, because that's what the E major scale adds. This should make sense.
No, it does.
I don't believe you, but it really should.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was going. Yeah, sorry. I had my thumb on the E, not on the A. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Silly brain. But still, no, like having learned it my own way, it makes it easier to remember.
I
It's cool.
guess, but it sounds like you've only remembered the relationship between A and E when that's just like all of the scales work this way. We've
Oh yeah,
learned this.
I know that. It's just like
Like, why did you hyper focus on A versus E and not G versus D or C versus G or B? Like, why those two? Why did that happen?
Well, good, because like A and E were the hardest two for me to like memorize.
Okay,
So once I knew that, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
but there's a reason for that, and I taught you the reason, so
Yeah.
it should make sense.
Yeah.
Like, that's like G and D are also almost identical.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, because like, you know, I wasn't having as much trouble with those. I was just like, oh, that's a thing. And then A and E came along, and I was like, oh, the two harder ones are similar. Cool.
Okay. That's fine. I don't know. I'm not going to pry any farther. All I'm saying is if you apply the theory I taught you, it should naturally, cumulatively make sense based on using past information, you know, like
Well,
it shouldn't be in a void harder to learn certain scales as long as you're cumulatively applying the knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing that with relative scales like all the time. It was great.
It's like
I love it.
going from D major to A major, you're just adding, you know, whatever. I'm not going to reteach you the circle of fifths. You either know it or you don't.
No, I know it. I just, you know, temporarily left my brain. And then it was just like, hey, that's a thing.
But, yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, I think we're good.